Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Show and Tell What the Hell. And that's not confusing. I'm going to move this away for a second and bring it back. But this is the new 35th anniversary Transformers Optimus Prime. Yes. And I like seeing this up here on the top that Takara told me. It just makes me feel good. And I like the package here. Now, I did remove him from the package already and put him right back in just so I can show you what he looks like with the package. These are Walmart exclusives, I do believe, but 35 years, can you believe that? Happy birthday, Transformers! I remember watching these as a wee lad and just falling in love with Transformers, and to a point where I was going to Transformers conventions, botcons, and whatnot. Always been a huge collector, and if there's one thing that I like to collect, well, there's a lot of things I like to collect, but Transformers is one of the top things that I do collect. I have a massive amount of Transformers. Some would say I have too much Transformers, but I don't let that bother me because this is what keeps me happy, folks. These are my babies. And I found this in Corpus Christi, Texas, hidden amongst just a whole bunch of Megatrons, and I saw this one there. And just like the other Walmart where I got the Sound Blaster at, the Megatron is the one that you'll probably see most of. So if you find the Optimus or you see, Sound Blaster, pick those up right away. Megatron doesn't look too bad. I haven't picked him up yet. I may do that just so he can go with this. Now, and I'll explain why. So I did again take the liberty of opening him up already because I got so excited. And I just really wanted to check him out. Also because I kept the receipt just in case there was any issues with him. But let's take him out right now. And you know what? The QC on these Transformers Cybertron figures have been pretty decent over the years. Now, I am told, and I did see a picture, that there is a slight variation on the faceplate of Prime. And this is the one that I prefer. Again, one last look at the box. Has the Cybertron art, War for Cybertron Siege art in the back. Doesn't really have too much. It says classic on the top. It says classic animation, which is a little confusing because in the classic animation, let me kind of dispel some, some beliefs that this is exactly what he looked like in the animation. Well, no, this is a cel-shaded effect. This gives it a cartoony effect, but this was not really utilized in the animation at all, except for maybe the movie. It just saved cost. It was, if you look at the old animation like He-Man or Transformers, they didn't use too many highlights, shading, anything like that. Maybe just like in intro sequences. Animation wasn't great, but it was the story behind it. Now, when you're talking about anime, one of the factors of anime, one of the things that you started seeing in 80s anime in particular, you started seeing stuff like cel shading. So no, that's a little. It does look cool. I've been seeing a lot of cel shaded artwork or toys coming out in recent years, and I'm just talking about these last 2 years. Maybe with the Ninja Turtle line, I started seeing that. Masters of the Universe, I want to say, has a little bit of that cel shading. No, I mean, when you had, I don't know, they've been doing a lot of weird things with toys. In the 90s, McFarlane or Todd Toys, as it started off with the Spawn toys, they started utilizing different plastics, started giving them dry brushing and washing, so you got a lot more detail coming out of the actual sculpt. So you started seeing that with more toy lines. So they've been experimenting, and this is just kind of the latest trend, I guess, I started seeing. I'm not complaining. It's just that I would have liked to have seen this without the cel shading, because this is almost spot on the exact color palette of the cartoon Optimus Prime. Now, now that I'm thinking about it, it does tempt me to actually go and find another one and remove some of the painting. So we'll see how that goes. But there's a company out there called Toy Hacks. It used to be called Repro Labels. And in also recent years, they've been doing sticker sets, little stickers that you put on your figures that reflect the cell shading effect as well. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. The weather just changed, and I was running around unpacking because I just got home. Oh, that's a nice little. I don't know why it's a little chipped off right there in this guy. But let's take him out of his plastic tomb and reanimate Prime. So I'm not going to transform him because you all know, but he is the same alt mode as his Cybertronian War for Cybertron version of him. This is the same exact mold. Nothing has changed. It's just a different paint deco. But what sold me on this, what really, really sold me on this, and I have to be honest, was now this is what he looks like. If you ever played Transformer Devastation for PS4, they also put up PS3 port of it, Xbox 360, I want to say. This is kind of the effect that they went with, which I think is not bad. It looks pretty cool. Looks dynamic, and I've seen a lot of customizers do this too. So let's put his little gun here. His rifle. And no, there is no matrix or anything like that. That would have been nice. But the thing that sold me on this was this part right here. It's white. It's not gray or silver. It looks like the animation. So this looks like Transformers the Animated Movie Optimus Prime. You know, the one shall stand, one shall fall Prime, you know. Go to hell, Megatron. What does he say? Something like that. Fuck you, Megatron. You son of a bitch. And of course he has his Cybertronian axe, which to me, they kind of dropped the ball on this a little bit. Because I would have liked for this to be... it would have been cooler. This is one of the few complaints that I have. This why did he have an axe? I don't know. But if they found a way to connect it to the arm, a better way to connect it to the arm to make it like the first episode, Boy Meets the Eye, where he's fighting with Megatron on the bridge, or was it Hoover Dam? Make a translucent version that kind of looks like the one that was on his arm. That would have been cool, but they didn't, and oh well. But it's still a nice little accessory. It's good that they included that. Pretty good, pretty nice. It's still compatible with it still has the same ports, so you can add on to it with your other Cybertronian Siege for War for Cybertron, Siege, whatever figures. They didn't paint this again, so that's a little but you can still do this where you transform it like that and just stick it in the back somewhere. Everything is the same as the last one except the paint job. Let's take a look at the details on the face. This is what I like this a lot. Just they got the right color for the eyes. This is a great looking Prime face. I do have concerns for the upcoming Earthrise. Is it Earthrise? Am I getting that right? I hope so. If not, fuck it. The new series that's part of the new Transformers trilogy, where he's going to have the trailer. And he's going to be about this size, maybe a tad bit taller. It's an all-new sculpt. It looked very similar from the beginning. When I saw it, I'm like, God, it looks exactly the same as this model. But no, they're going for a G1 toy meets cartoon look, but more toy. I'm concerned about the face. It looks a little bit too dark. It looks where it's too blue in the actual face area. They changed the eyes to blue, supposedly. I saw pictures of it. We'll see how it looks. It's still, to me, it's like it just seems like there's always something missing with Prime. Where it's not going to be the perfect Hasbro, brick and mortar store, non-exclusive figure. You're never going to get the perfect one. But you know what? If you want one that looks exactly like the cartoon, I was tempted not to buy this. I thought about it, mulled it over, said, why should I buy this Prime? I already have the mold, and let's go ahead and compare them while we're talking about that. Why should I buy it? It's this spectacular paint job that they gave him. Really nice. And of course, you can still, you don't have the original mold. He's not gonna. It's the sad thing about this is that he's not gonna really mesh well with your other figures. Luckily, you have a company like Toy Hacks that'll give you some of these cel-shaded windows. So if you have a spare, I don't know, Ironhide or something, you can give them that effect, and it'll kind of go better with that. But look at the tone, look at the color, the hues of blue. Look at the amount of detailing on the toesies here. A little bit different there. The crotch area right there. Oh, I'm sorry. He doesn't have, the whole scratching mess going on. The battle damage. He doesn't have that, but he does have the little yellow bits right there. I like the balance. Optimus Prime's colors, and to me, they're a little bit in the cartoon. I'm used to that version where the whole pants area is a little more white because that's how the cartoon translated silver. I don't know, kind of weird. It's when you see some characters that have the white, it was either supposed to represent a really shiny silver or sometimes a really light gray. Look at Starscream, for instance. And sometimes the white characters, the ones that had white, were a little bit darker. I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. There are some things I like about this Prime, and there's some things I like about this Prime. Do I have a favorite? I don't know. I think it's going to bounce back and forth. I'm glad I got both. I felt, again, that maybe I just didn't need this one, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm really happy. It just feels like, oh, wow, I have like a very cartoon accurate Prime, except for the alt mode. Except for that. So maybe they'll do that with the new Earthrise Prime. I don't know. Make another exclusive that you have to order and pre-order and then get disappointed when it sells out. One thing that's also cool is that if you notice that panel there, they kept it blue over here. Does this even separate? Did I do this? Wait, hold on. Sorry, my bad. I've had this transformed wrong the whole... Did I have... Yeah, never mind. That was so stupid of me. This is supposed to go back here. Never mind. I take that back. This is blue. This is blue. But yeah, very interesting. Now what I'm going to do with this one, what I do like about this, though, I mean, they both have their pros and cons. Look, the clear windows over here just look freaking awesome, man. And what I'm going to do with this one now, since there's going to be yet another Prime coming out, is I'm going to use this one as my custom, add some Prime shit, add some, what are the names? The Prime Masters, not the Prime Masters, but the not Titan Masters, not the Prime Masters, whatever the hell they are. Micromasters, the Micromasters, add them, make my own little custom Cybertron Prime, or do something with them, which they definitely gave us enough ports to mess around with on this one. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Both very different looking, but both the same. So, yeah, I do feel like I want to get Megatron now, just so I can match him up with his Prime. Now, I'll probably wait till the price goes down, or if I just have some extra cash laying around, which is not too often. But when I do, I'll get that. I would like to see a Starscream. Now that I look, I would like to see a Soundwave. I'd like to see a Starscream. I'd like to see the core characters, a Bumblebee in this manner of design here. Anyway, folks, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you next time. Take care, and we'll see you later on.